Hi everybody, and welcome to Live Fully with myself, Joanna Vargas, here at the Fit Factor studio. I'm gonna get in here with Anais. And today I get to interview two of our clients of the month. And next to me I have Anais Campa, and she was November 2018 Client of the Month. Then we also have Fabviola Rosales, and you gotta say it with the rolling of the R. And she was our January Client of the Month for 2019. And please tune in and listen in on their answers. And we're gonna get started because we're gonna start with some questions. So ladies, we'll start with Anais, but tell us, where did you grow up? And what were you like as a little girl?
So I actually grew up less than a mile away, and I still live 3 blocks away from where I grew up here in beautiful Alhambra. As a little girl, I was exactly how I am now, super loud, always talking to everybody, always getting in trouble in school because I spoke too much in class. And I also did a lot of, my parents had us super busy all the time. So as a little girl, I was just a little busybody, bossing everyone around, being rambunctious.
Wait, when you grew up in Alhambra, was it 818 or 626?
It was 818.
Oh,
yeah, and then
old school.
when I was in elementary or middle school, it changed to 626.
Yeah. So you're familiar with Alhambra? It used to be 818 area code.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's North Hollywood,
Yes.
but we're OG.
Yeah.
So Fabviola, where'd you grow up?
Well, I actually grew up in Highland Park, and it used to be 213.
Oh yeah.
Before.
Hipsterville.
Yeah, it's so different now.
You're OG.
I started there, and then my family moved around a lot, and so afterwards I went to Monrovia, went to high school there. As a young girl, I would say I was always a quiet girl, very opposite of this one right here. We balance each other well. I was more reserved. I was kind of an old soul. Kept a small group of friends throughout all of my childhood and even now as an adult, so very similar.
Okay, cool. I like to hear stories sometimes when we're a complete opposite when we're younger, but they were the same.
Yeah.
So these two ladies are badasses when it comes to training. They're very focused. They're very goal-oriented when it comes to what they want to do and accomplish in class. Tell us how you got started in fitness and your journey getting there, and how you were before this.
So as I mentioned, my mom kept us really busy as kids. I was in folklorico, in Hawaiian dancing. I ended up joining cheer in high school. And so I feel like because we always had so many after school activities, when I got to college, I was kind of burned out and I just wanted to be a normal person that didn't have so many commitments, but that meant that I wasn't as active as I used to be. And so it wasn't until I actually left college, I became a teacher and I needed that outlet. And so I started doing triathlons and marathons, but I feel like my fitness has been very like a stint, training for a marathon and then nothing for 3 months. Oh my God, a triathlon, and then nothing for a year. So that's kind of been my journey in fitness.
Wait, tell us about, you did a triathlon last year, right?
Yeah, last summer I did my 3rd triathlon.
Was that a full or a half?
It was a sprint, so that means it was a little bit shorter. I think it was a 400-meter swim, a 9-mile bike ride, and a 3-mile run in San Diego.
And tell us, what was your word for 2018?
It was fierce.
Yeah. And tell them what happened during that sprint triathlon.
So I was swimming in the ocean, and I just kept telling myself, imagine that Joanna's right here saying, what's your word? And there were moments where I wanted to because when you're swimming in the ocean, you get really tired, and so what they tell you is they're go on your back and breathe. And I just felt like I kept going on my back and breathing oh, I'm dying. And then I was like, no, Joanna said to be fierce. And so I just kept pushing myself until I got out of the water.
Yeah, you said fierce.
I'm fierce. Yeah.
Fierce. Yes. Yeah. I love it. Fabviola, tell us about your journey.
So as a child, my parents also put me in folklorico and karate, and I was also in drill team and cheer, and so I was active in that way up until high school. And then as an adult, I really didn't do much with fitness. I actually I loved outdoors, so I would go hiking a lot, and I would sign up for little 5Ks with her or with other friends, and they signed us up for the Spartan race one time, and I was like, sure, we'll join, not really knowing what I was getting myself into. Yes, I was.
Were your eyes just big when you showed up?
The next day, yeah, I did not know what I was getting myself into.
My favorite memory from that Spartan race was our 2 friends who were badasses, and they had been training. They made it over this wall that was like this, and you had to climb up and go over it. And me and her could not get over it. Some guy had to give us a boost and push us over. And when we got to the other side, our friends are like, what's wrong with these girls? We were just like hot messes. So yeah,
fun times.
we did not used to be as intense as we are now.
Wait, now here's the big question. Oh, sorry, something's going by. All right, all right, thank you 911 for taking care of that. Okay, now a big question is folklorico. Did you dance together?
No, we didn't meet until we were in college.
So you just both happened to do folklorico? It was like you guys had the two parallel lives.
Yeah, yeah, and cheer too.
Yeah.
Cheer as well.
So where'd you go to college?
I went to UCLA for undergrad and for grad school, which is where I met Fabviola.
I went to UC Santa Barbara for undergrad and then UCLA where I met her.
Oh, we got Bruins.
Yes.
Okay, great. Next question. What are the biggest things that you've noticed and the changes in your life because of training?
Well, I think like before we signed up, I had kind of plateaued in my training. I was still continuing to be active, but I was like walking around the park. Like I was telling myself like, oh, you're doing good because you went for a walk around the park. And so when Fabviola like told me that we should join this studio, I think like when we got here, I was like, oh, this is so intense. So I think now like we just have like a different level of intensity, and the fact that I can like press like 15-pound weights. Like I didn't realize that I was that capable of lifting heavy weights, I guess you could say. So it's just a different level than I was used to before.
Anything at home or anything with your personal life, work, change because of it?
Yeah, I think I have a better balance. I'm going to bed a lot earlier because I come to the 5 a.m. classes. So I'm in bed by like 9:30 every day. So I'm getting a lot more sleep, even though it means I spend less time with my husband because he's a night owl and he wakes up late. So it just makes us be more intentional about our time because I'm not staying up late to watch TV with him anymore. Yeah.
I told you got 1 hour. Let's go.
Well, for me, I mean, I literally didn't work out or do anything in fitness for probably 10 years. And so it was a lifestyle change completely when I came to the Fit Factor. When I realized that I just needed a change, I needed to just start taking care of myself more. I was looking up places here, close around to where I live, and I live here in Alhambra, and the Fit Factor came up, and it sounded perfect to me because it was small, it was intimate. I knew that I could never go to a big gym and work out there. I wouldn't know what to do once I got there. And so I'm glad that she took on the challenge with me. And so I came and I literally started working out for the first time in my life, like actual intense workouts with some kind of focus and drive. And so I'm really surprised and proud of myself for being consistent. I never thought that I would have the discipline to maintain this kind of lifestyle. I know that I made a lot of excuses before. Well, I feel like I'm eating healthy, or yeah, I went on a hike last weekend, so that's me in my workout. But now I feel so much stronger, I feel so much more energetic, and I feel so much more confidence in myself to accomplish things that I didn't think that I could accomplish before.
Yeah, so Fabviola, you talked about confidence. How do you notice that at work or anywhere else in your life?
Well, I think it's more of the mindset part, where I know that if something is hard, like I can push myself and I can do it, and I feel stronger just in knowing like my stamina has increased and I can stick to things longer. I can, lift heavier weights.
Yeah.
For my guns to come in.
Yes. These girls are badasses. Yeah. Well, this is a little extra question. I didn't tell them this before. Everybody in my classes, I have them pick a word for the year, like one intentional word. Share with everybody your word for this year, 2019, and how are you honoring it right now?
I know I picked a new word last week, and right now that you surprised us with this question, I was like, what was that word? But what immediately comes to mind for me is balance, because just like I mentioned, I've always been really outgoing, intense in workouts now, and that's just how I live my life, is like fully, right? Like doing a lot at one time. So for me, the word would probably be balance, and learning when to give up a little bit, learning how to spend more time in areas of taking care of myself too.
Because when we say yes to something, we always have to say no to something
else.
and vice versa, right? Yeah. Fabviola, how about for you?
It's really hard to choose just one word. I think the word that I said before was peace, because I just wanted to feel good about the things that I was doing and not be so hard on myself all the time, and just feel calm and not always stressed out or worrying or complaining or making excuses. So just the peace that comes with this consistency, this new lifestyle. Yeah.
I liked how you picked peace. I've never heard anybody ever choose that word. I thought it was great. Yeah, it has so much power to that word. Yeah. Ladies, if you were to talk to your younger self before training in this nature, what advice would you give your younger self?
Well, I think my younger self didn't do the physical things or even like the work things that I do now, and going back to that mindset of like you don't realize what you're capable of till you try it. And so I would remind my younger self not to play it safe so much and to take more risks and try more things, and just be more confident in knowing that perfection is not going to happen the first time around, and it's okay to be in that that state of progress and of honoring where you're at.
Same. I guess I would add just like hustle, just keep going and keep doing it and believe in yourself, and you're stronger than you think, and you're gonna fail, and that's okay. That's a good thing.
Gosh, there's so much I would tell my younger self. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, trust. Trust. You got this. It's gonna be okay. It's all good. You know what I would tell my younger self? Girl, you're gonna be a badass. You know what I mean? Like, watch out. And I wonder right now, what if, let's look into the future. So let's say our 80-year-old self. What do you think that 80-year-old self would tell us right now?
I think my 80-year-old self would say, continue doing all the things you want to do in life. Like, you don't want to be 80 and have regrets. So say yes to the things that matter, say no to the things that don't matter, and continue living fully and pushing yourself as much as you can every day to be your best self.
Yeah, my 80-year-old self would say, stop being afraid and go for it. And take every opportunity that comes your way and make those opportunities as well.
I remember thinking this when I was in high school. And I remember thinking, gosh, when I'm older, I'm going to look back and go, you regretted it. And you know what I did? My senior year in high school, I intentionally went to each dance with a different guy just for fun. And it was so intentional because I thought, man, when I'm an old lady, I want to look back at my senior year and go, man, I rocked it. Homecoming, I went with this guy. And this went, sweetheart's ball. I went prom, this one. And I totally forgot about that to this moment. So I wonder my 80-year-old self, like, girl, when you're in your 40s, do it all, right?
Yes.
Because, anyway, that's fun. Okay, well, any last things, ladies, you'd like to tell anybody watching?
I just think, we're obviously best friends and we love coming to the gym together. And I think it's really important to have like an accountability buddy, knowing that someone's going to wake up with you at 4:30 in the morning and sweat it out at 5 a.m. and just there to push you and grab those 15-pound weights, even if you only want to lift 10 that day. So find someone who can push you that way.
Yes, you're not alone in the struggle, and doing it with others is always more enjoyable. And thank you, Joanna, for creating this space for us. Everybody is so kind here, and I don't think that I would have continued to be as consistent as I was if I didn't feel that safe community here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Like, it's really like no other fitness activity I've ever been a part of. So thank you, and I hope this place is around for many years to come.
Yeah. Hey, that was a great commercial. I didn't even ask them to do that. Awesome.
She didn't. We just love it here.
I'll just slip them a 5 later. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it. Again, this is Anais Campa. She was our November 2018 Client of the Month. And then we have Fabviola Rosales. She was our January 2019 Client of the Month. So honored to have them here today. And if you haven't heard about us, go to thefitfactorstudio.com. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. And we'd love to hear or train with you, right? Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, I gotta get out of here. You're smiling stuck.
It's still filming.
Oh.